When Law did ask Luffy to join forces with him to take down Kaido, he said to Luffy that our chances of defeating Kaido are 30%. Hawkins said that your chances of being alive at the end of the month are 19%. So who is right? And are Luffy and Law going to take down Kaido? Let's start with the first question. Even though both Law and Hawkins are talking about the same thing, and that is Kaido, but they are looking at things from a different perspective. And also they are not basing their judgment on the same information since they don't know the full power of the opposition. Hawkins is using his cards to predict the future. It is still not explained how he is doing that. But I am going to take his word based on the fact that he knows the extent of Kaido's power and his army since he is part of it. But one thing that Hawkins does not know is that Luffy and Law are not alone. They did join forces with other people as well. I cannot wait to see the Minks in action in their Sulong form. So, which one is right, Law or Hawkins? I think both, because Law is talking about the end result and Hawkins about their well-being. When Law and Luffy did fight Doflamingo, Law did lose an arm and Luffy needed help from other people. If fighting a Shichibukai was that hard, then fighting a Yonko will be at least 10 times harder. Maybe Luffy will get a new scar in the one arc. And now let's get to the second question. Are Luffy and Law going to take down Kaido? Yes and no. I don't think the Yonko arcs will be the same as the other arcs that we have seen so far in the story. Kaido might lose the battle, but he is not losing the war. It is not that after being defeated he will lose his title as a Yonko. Here's why I think so. Yonkos are too big of characters and involved in many things. So that's why whether they lose or win a battle, it would not make that much of a difference in the grand scheme of things. From what we know about the Yonkos is that they fight even each other, and in these battles someone won and someone lost, but that did not change their positions in the new world. When Shanks went to meet Whitebeard, Whitebeard said to his commanders that this does not appear to be a war, so stand back. This shows that they do fight each other. The Yonkos are worthy to be called emperors, because they rule like emperors, and that's why even the world government is afraid of them. They are too big to fall, and one battle would not change much unless they are killed. But besides being powerful beyond the human level, Oda doesn't like to kill his characters. This is not his style. The reason why Doflamingo was removed out of the game, it was not because he lost to Luffy and Law, but because the Marines did arrest him and sent him to Impel Down. If that did not happen, then he will continue to be the Joker of the underworld and sell weapons and other things. But let's just say that the people of Dressrosa did force Doflamingo out of their country, and he would lose his base on Dressrosa even if the Marines would not intervene, but that's a long shot. Because his abilities are very powerful, he could use the birdcage and his strings to manipulate people. And let's just say that the same thing will happen to Kaido, he will lose his base on Wano. But for a Yonko losing a country that is under them, it does not mean much, because they have other countries. Kaido can go in those other countries and go on like business as usual, and plan a rematch. There are two ways to bring down Kaido, to kill him, or to destroy his armies and countries that are under him. But even if Kaido is all alone, he is still a huge threat. A lot of people did try to kill him, but they did not succeed. So I think Kaido will be defeated, he will lose the battle in Wano, but not the war. He will be still around as a Yonko. Jack lost to Fujitora and Sengoku, but did survive, and he did continue as normal and went to Zou to finish his mission. So losing and winning when it comes to this level of pirates, it does not have that much of an effect as long as they don't die. And this is very clever of Oda for many reasons, and one of those reasons is the balance of power. If a Yonko was to go down, things will become unstable in the new world. We saw what did happen when Whitebeard did die. Even the Gorosei were concerned about this, because the world government is affected as well when a Yonko goes down and not just the pirate world. Yonkos in a new world are like mountains, and when one of them goes down, it does open the door for other crazy things. But besides that, the countries that are in the new world are affected as well. For example, Fishman Island that was under Whitebeard after his death, Big Mom took it over. And Blackbeard did the same, he took under his control some of the countries that were under Whitebeard. And it could be that other Yonkos did the same or other strong people in the new world. I think that Oda will keep the same Yonkos until the final arc. If Yonkos were to go down one by one, then I think the new world will lose the danger element and also its importance. Yes, the new world is a crazy and unnatural place, but the Yonkos are on top of that. People fear them more than anything in the new world. Even the world government does fear them. About replacing them, just like Oda did with Whitebeard, where Blackbeard took his place, well, this could be problematic and maybe even unnecessary. Let's just say Luffy and Law will kill Kaido, and now the question is who will take his position as a Yonko? I don't think neither of them wants to be a Yonko, especially not Luffy. He's not interested in ruling countries, obtaining treasures, having big armies and stuff like that. And all these things are what makes a Yonko. Oda could replace them with new characters, but that could be problematic for a couple of reasons. But more importantly, I don't see why Oda would want to go in that route. Since we are dealing with the Yonkos now, this means that we are in the final stage of the story. So I think Oda will focus on the characters that he has and give them time to shine, rather than come up with the new characters and not do justice to any character. One of the best things about One Piece as a story is that it has many characters, but this is also one of the worst things for Oda. Because the more characters you have, the harder it is to write the story, because you need to make sure to use them all in a proper way. So adding more characters of the size of the Yonkos, I don't see that as the answer, and I don't think that the story needs that. There are a couple of reasons why Blackbeard replacing Whitebeard as a Yonko did work so well. Blackbeard was introduced very early on in the story. He is a D and he went after Luffy, and then he fought with Ace. He did defeat him and hand it over to the world government. He was part of the Whitebeard's crew and he has a history with Shanks. He is the only one who is known to obtain the powers of 2 devil fruits. And he did defeat the former crew of Whitebeard. And due to all of these things, it did make sense when Blackbeard did replace Whitebeard. So this is why it would be problematic to replace the Yonkos with new characters. I'm not saying that doing so would be wrong, but what's the point? It is not that the story demands new characters or something like that. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree with what I said, or you have something else to add? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, like and share if you like this video, subscribe for more One Piece videos, and see you in the next video.